Hey there, I made a video about the housing crisis in Calgary and in Canada. I hope you find it informative. Check it out. Okay, let's take a quick look at the home prices in Calgary. This is all types of homes, apartments, houses, everything. Now this is the chart of prices going back 20 years. And as you can see, in the early 2000s we had some craziness. That's because we had a huge influx of people moving in from other provinces. This caused housing prices to double and even triple in a few short years. A very crazy time. Then things corrected during the Great Recession. We got through that, economic recovery, and things were looking good until 2014. We went into a recession. This was a local Alberta recession, and it was caused by the crude oil crash in 2014. Here's the price of crude oil. You can see it crashed in 2014. That put us into recession that lasted for about 5 years. During that period, you can see how prices just sort of stagnated and declined a little bit. Then COVID happened. More craziness, prices went up. However, we're through COVID now, and prices are still climbing. What's going on there? Well, just like back in the early 2000s, we had this huge influx of population. That's what's happening now. So let's take a closer look at that. I'm going to show you something here that's going to just blow your mind. Okay, but first, this is a chart that was put out by the National Bank of Canada very recently. It shows the population growth of Canada going all the way back to 1976. It goes right up until today, but I've cut off the last little bit of the chart. This shows up to 2021. I'm going to show you the rest in a bit. So what does this mean? So this red line is the population growth, and this is mostly, if not all, immigration. Okay, now let me be very clear about something. I'm all for immigration. We need immigration. If we don't have immigration, if we closed our borders, Canada's population would decline and shrink. And we don't want that. That leads to economic stagnation and permanent recession. Okay, so we need a growing, vibrant population, and that comes from immigration. We absolutely need that. And we've had that. We've been hovering around this historic average of about approximately 80,000 people per year. Okay, this is a good, balanced situation. You can see the population growth is more or less in sync with the new homes being built. Except in 2015, that began to change. The new federal government got really aggressive with immigration, and this started to put a real strain on the housing supply in both Toronto and Vancouver, because that's where most of the immigration goes. So this causes the prices of Toronto and Vancouver housing to go up and created a housing crisis in those two cities. Then COVID hit. Okay, we did the opposite, closed the borders, and this caused all sorts of problems of its own, supply chain issues, etc. That craziness is all behind us. Immigration has resumed, and let's take a look at where we are now. I'm going to show you the rest of this chart. Brace yourself. So what's going on here? Population growth has tripled in the last couple of years. Home building has not. Okay, this is a massive supply and demand imbalance. This is how you create a housing crisis. So there's been all kinds of talk about this in the news. All sorts of solutions are being proposed, basically band-aid fixes that are not addressing the root problem. This is the problem right here. We've got to get our population growth out of the stratosphere back down to historic levels that are in line with our home building. Now, of course, we do need to increase our home building, and we are doing that, but it's just not physically possible to keep up with this demand. So until this gets corrected, our housing crisis is going to continue, and housing prices are going to keep rising. So if you're waiting to buy, don't wait.